everyone, I'm Rosie, and today I'm going to introduce you a song by Brahms, Verzagen. It is from Op.72 No.4, which is the same cycle as the song we talked about in class, Alte Liebe. Op.72 is a great cycle. In Lucien Stark's book, A Guide to the Solo Songs of Johannes Brahms mentioned that Clara wrote a letter to Brahms in 1877 expressing her high praise for these 5 works, saying that these 5 works are the pinnacle of Brahms' creation so far. So I am very glad that I was able to choose the piece in this cycle. The title, Verzagen, translates as despondency. We can tell from the title that the emotion of this piece is sad. The poem of this work roughly means the poet seeks comfort on the stormy seashore, but not like a wave that vanishes or a cloud that is blown away by the wind. The sorrow inside the poet's heart cannot be carried away and never dies. The poet of this song is Karl Lemcke. I learned from Natasha Logie's book, Brahms and His Poets, that Lemke's poetic style was a combination of idealism and realism. Brahms appreciated his poetry collection, Lieder und Gedichte, very much because many poems reminded him of Heine's style. Interestingly, Brahms set out 7 poems of Lemcke. 5 of them are located on the coast, and Verzagen is one of them. This is maybe because Lemke's background in Schwerin and Brahms' father was in Heide. They are all coastal areas. Like Schubert, Brahms loved the strophic structure. One of the most common is a 3-stanza poem in which the first 2 stanzas are the same rhythm and melody, but the 3rd stanza is changed to bring a more vivid climax while preserving the harmonic and rhythmic structure. Verzagen is one such piece. The first 2 stanzas are mainly about the description of the outside world. The melody is consistent. The dramatic part is borne by the 3rd stanza because the 3rd stanza is about the poet's interrogation of himself, shifting to an emphasis on emotion. Brahms' setting of this poem is very turbulent, depicting the poet's pain with music, and the piano part vividly depicts the dark sea and the turbulent waves, with the details of the waves hitting the shore, leaving small ripples. Okay, let's talk through the music. First, there is a brief introduction. The rushing water is invoked with quietly intense rising arpeggios. The singer enters on the upbeat of the last downward tremolo figures. The first line is set to a restrained but undulating melody that uses triplet rhythm. The triplet rhythm shows the inner fluctuation of the poet. The piano motion underneath consists of 1 ascending and 2 descending arpeggios in each measure. Line 2 is similar, but higher and more driven, with a powerful crescendo. The accompaniment pattern from line 1 continues. Line 2 is then repeated as the intensity builds to forte. In a contrast, line 3 is hesitant and even fearful, indecisively circling around the tonic. The piano texture changes to tremolo figures passed between the hands and supported by chords. Line 4 is set to a despairing downward scale. The volume now diminishes to pianissimo. After a brief pause in measure 15, the line is repeated to a broadly swaying, melancholy line that ends uncertainly on the dominant note as the piano settles to a cadence. The second stanza differs only in the distribution of syllables and of individual words. Okay, let's talk about the third stanza. The first two lines in the third stanza is the climax of the whole piece. The introduction begins as expected, but the voice unexpectedly enters, following the double-dotted upper melody and suddenly building. Line 2 is marked by an octave leap on the word dich. The harmony has made a much stronger shift to the dominant key. The accompaniment with left-hand arpeggios and right-hand tremolos. At the end, the right-hand tremolos are extended, and an upper voice settles down for the last two lines, which return to the music of the previous stanzas. Lines 3 and 4 set as the first two stanzas. In the last phrase, Brahms said 4 times of Was weinest du? That means, why do you weep? To vent the poet's grief. In measure 35, the introduction is converted into a postlude. A diminuendo to pianissimo is added over 3 measures. In the final measure, the full F-sharp chord in the low register is held. Brahms effectively utilized contrasting dynamic levels to convey the sense of the poem. Okay, that's the analyze and the introduction for the whole piece. So next, please enjoy the piece sung by me.
Ich zieh's am Strande der rauschenden See und suche dort nach Ruhe und suche dort nach Ruhe. Ich schaue dem Treiben der Woge mit dumpfer Ergebung zu. Die Wogen rauschen zum Strande hin, sie schäumen und vergehen, sie schäumen und vergehen. Die Wolken, die winden darüber, die kommen und verwehen. Du ungestümes Herz, sei still und gib dich doch zur Ruhe. Du sollst mit Winden und Wolken dich trösten. Was weinest du? Was weinest
In A. Craig Bell's book, Brahms, his vocal music, Bell describes this song as the grief of all humanity is expressed in this turbulent music. I think it's very relevant, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching.